Okay, I have just left a friend of mine in Suffolk. I've got, at least a 2.5 hour drive in front of me. I haven't done any sort of videos or live streams for a long time. So I thought, while I've still got some light, I would take the time to come and say hi and touch base with everybody about what my thoughts are with what's going on with the crypto, Twitter, technology world that we're living in right now. I don't do price predictions. I'm not saying that everything is going to happen the way that we want it to happen. I'm not saying that we're all going to be millionaires or even rich, or that our investments are going to come in to what our expectations are. However, I think that some of us need to be more aware of what to do should these things happen. I think that there is a psychology that needs to be taken into consideration when dealing with people who are not used to having money and wealth, and basically to be able to maybe learn some things, I hope, from what I say to you today. So there's a few things that has hit me really badly over the last few months. I rented out my house to a family. I sold my other house and want to move in. They haven't moved out. I'm homeless. So what am I learning from that? Is that having things is not necessarily the things that make you happy. I always, and this is my life lesson, I've always felt that if I have a roof over my head that's my own, my independence, my things around me, then I have a form of security, which is natural, and it makes me happy to have my things, which is natural. But the absence of those things gave me a lot of sleepless nights, gave me a lot of anxiety about it, wondering how I was going to cope, without my things around me, without my independence, living with somebody else that I wasn't expecting to live with, and giving up my way of life, which is workaholic. One thing that it's teaching me is that you don't need stuff around you. You don't need to go out and buy things because you want to buy them, because there could be circumstances that happen, like with me. Everything I've got is sitting in storage. So having all these lovely nice things and having all these gadgets and gizmos and stuff, lovely word, that covers everything. Having all this stuff doesn't mean jack shit at all, because you are still you without them. And it got me thinking, everybody says I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that, and when we move I'm going to do this, I'm going to go there, I'm going to buy the house, I'm going to do it up, I'm going to do this, that and the other, I'm going to get a car, Lamborghini, I'm going to. In actual fact, what you need to do is you need to take a breath. You need to actually find where your priorities are, because you can spend an awful lot of time and money wasting, and I mean wasting, on things that you don't need. You want, but you don't need. And the whole point is that if you're going to do things like buy stupid expensive toys, or you want something because you saw so-and-so's got it, so you want one too, or whatever floats your boat, whichever way you're thinking, in actual fact, that is not going to make you happy. It's not going to make you happy. Even down to the basics, right? Unless there's something that you really, really want, you don't need it. And if you don't need it, you shouldn't get it, because you will only regret it. You will only regret it. Now, that goes the same as buying for other people. I've spent the last 3 months giving people things, giving my stuff away to people who I thought would actually appreciate it, because they made the right noises at the right time. And I sat there and thought, well, I haven't got use for it at the moment. I can go out and buy another one at a later date. So I've given things to people, and in actual fact, when they've got it, they've realised they didn't want it in the first place. So they didn't need it. They didn't want it. They didn't need it. And unfortunately, it's not something where they can turn around and say, oh, we'll have it back. So they're sitting on something that they feel guilty of accepting. I feel guilty because I put them in that position in the first place, because I just thought that they would want it. And in actual fact, what it does is puts a little bit of a strain on things, on friendships, on relationships. So again, you know, I'm expecting there to be a movement of money, a price of coins at some point, where I'm going to have surplus money where I can help people. But just because I can doesn't mean to say I should. And that's the lesson that I'm learning right now. That because I have, and I'm giving to people who have not, that it's not necessarily the best way to be, and the best thing to do, and the best way to go. So I've said, I mean, forget what I say about charity and all that sort of stuff, but I've always turned around and said, right, I've got a bag there for friends, I've got a bag there for family, I've got a bag there for to help people who I don't know yet. And I'm the sort of person that I'm happy to give away to make people's lives easier and better. And the thing is, if people don't earn it, if people don't buy it, if they're just given it, they don't appreciate it. You can give somebody a television, for example, and they get the television, they're really grateful about the television, and then they sit with it for a few weeks and they say, it's not big enough, I need bigger, can I have that instead? And it's like, well, hold on a second, I gave you something of mine, and you're what? You're going to slap me in the face with it now? Obviously you don't say that to their faces, but that's how it feels. So when we're talking about having exit plans, about having finite discussions with people about what it means to you and how you're going to use it, and this is the biggest redistribution of wealth in our generation, which is old, but in our generation, and possibly, you know, it could well be a generation or two to come. So this redistribution of wealth, we have a responsibility to treat it carefully and be mindful where other people are concerned. And everybody is talking about helping their friends and their family, and, you know, all the people that we've been talking to about this opportunity, who haven't done for themselves, maybe it's not right that we do it for them if they haven't done it for themselves in the first place. That's all I'm saying. And it's been a huge wake-up call for me. I don't resent it. I think that everything happens for a reason. And the reason I'm in the position that I'm in at the moment is because I've got some life lessons to learn before I'm going to be allowed to be able to put things into practice. And I think that's something that I've really spent some time thinking hard about. You know, the last couple of months I have given away a lot, and I don't expect people to be grateful. Grateful is a dirty word as far as I'm concerned. I give it with love, but I also have noticed that when you give things freely, and people don't earn it, they really don't appreciate it as much. So when you're putting your plans together and you're putting your list of people that you're going to help and what each person's going to receive, or what you're going to do for different people, that's a really good thing. That is very altruistic and very commendable thing to do. But be mindful, people. You know, it could lead to an awful lot of heartache. And when I've been speaking about helping communities and being a good person, being a good neighbour, being a good community member, I didn't include in that my friends and family when I was talking about being responsible when you're giving away wealth. And I think that was my lesson to be learned, and that's what I'm learning right now, that they're literally, you have to treat the friends and family the same way as you would a stranger in the same circumstances. And it sounds harsh, and you might have to learn this lesson yourself, but if you can learn by my experience and you can take anything away from this message, then I would honestly turn around and say to be mindful and be thoughtful about what you plan to do and how you plan to do it, because not only can it become a very frustrating thing for you, it can also ruin friendships and relationships if people don't react the way that you would react in the same circumstances. And we've had, hopefully, I've had just over a year, I've had a lot of time, and we have had a lot of time to investigate, research, be mindful, plan, and think hard about what this means to us and what that can do for us, and the people that we're going to be helping will have it thrust upon them. So be wary, be mindful, be responsible, put your wish list together, think hard about what's on your wish list and whether that's something that you really need or just really want, and what that's going to mean for you 3, 6 months, 12 months down the line after you get it, and whether you should get it in the first place. Or think hard about the plans that you put together with regards to friends, family, community, neighbours, all of the above, and how it will make you feel good to help these people out. And that's the main thing, because you will feel good because you are helping others to feel good. But the long-term effect of that could happen, and I'd hate to see people break up families and friendships, long-term friendships, because they thought that it would be helpful to help people out without being asked, or even making them earn it, owe it. You know, you can put a proviso on things and put a contract together that you never collect on. But people don't appreciate things they get for free. So I hope that helps some deeper thinking about how we're going to act when these things come to pass, if they come to pass. And I hope that everybody has started their new year, their new decade. Happy new decade to you. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and an amazing start to the new year. And I hope to see you all in LA, May the 16th and 17th, the Renaissance Hotel in Long Beach. It is going to be the most amazing 2-day conference. We've got presenters, we've got education. Hopefully we're going to have some really key members of the community there to speak to interact with, not just the presenters but other people in the community who we all know and want to meet. And hopefully it will be the biggest community meetup so far. There are 600 tickets. They are £150 each, and they are going to go fast. The hotel doesn't have 600 rooms, so if you're coming and you're not from the local area, please think about how you are going to travel there and how you are going to stay there. We should be closing off on the Sunday afternoon around about 2:30, but we're keeping the room until 6, so you can hang around and still have a bit of a meet-up while the media guys are packing up. Failing that, Long Beach is a beach and there are lots of places to go and see and explore. So we hope to see you there, and I'm going to wish you a good morning, good evening, good afternoon and good night wherever you are in the world. Health and happiness.